Guys, the Yowie tanks are coming. The Americans are coming. This is them. You want to check out more about it? You want to see what they're saying about it? Well, come with me. I'll show you. The news is out. The press release is out. Let's find out more about the tier 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Which one's going to be a dud? Which one's going to be a hero? Are any of them OP? Let's find out. All right, the Yowies are coming. They're coming. They're coming. Well, let's check out the video that Wargaming gave us today.
The release of a new line always sparks interest.
Ooh.
And players are most interested in lines with new mechanics.
Are we?
The Yo tanks are a perfect example of that. You should be able to recognize classic features of U.S. tank building in them.
Yeah.
Every project, though, attempted to bring fresh design solutions. Like a narrow turret.
Narrow turret. Oh my God, look at that one.
A peculiar gun mantlet.
That's peculiar, all right.
Or suspension with an extra track.
That's handy. Oh, you're going super slow.
Even though no metal prototypes of these vehicles were ever built,
still easy to shoot.
There were enough drafts and blueprints to create a new American heavy line in the game possessing these unique mechanics.
Tracks everywhere. There's a lot of Yowies around. All right, let's see where it starts.
The line begins at Tier 6 with the Paulac tank. It's the only new...
Okay, hold on. Damage per minute, 1,600. Yikes. 240 average damage at Tier 6. That's not that bad, but it's the reload time. The hull looks pretty good. You know what? Let's just hear what they say.
Comer without a reserve track. But you can hardly call it a typical heavy. The Paulac is sturdier than the M6 and faster than the Sherman. The only drawback is its gun. Its DPM is not great, its accuracy mediocre, its depression angle only 5 degrees, and its single-shot damage is standard for a 90mm gun.
5 degrees! Oh snap, man! That's like a Russian tank with the lack of gun depression. Holy shebang! But yeah, the armor, like they just said, the armor is pretty nice though, man. So it's got more armor than an M6, and it's got less damage, and oh my, the gun handling is going to be interesting.
But this tank is a decent close-range fighter. Its armor can forgive...
There you go. You guys like to see tanks GG? There you go right there, man. 110 on the lower plate, which is, you know, pretty average. What I do like, though, is look how low the lower plate is. In other words, this is the upper plate. Actually, compared to, let's remember the Tier 8, the Tier 8 Premium we got in the loot boxes. Large boxes. It was more like up here. The lower plate came up to here, whereas this one's the opposite. So, okay. We got a little bit of a weak spot going on here. You know, the rest is 165, and this little weak spot, this sight spot there, whatever it's called, is 120. 165 on the mantlet, 125 on the Copla, or Capella. So the Capella is actually better off than this little weak spot here. And of course, the lower plate's the worst.
Certain mistakes in a positional firefight. In combination with good mobility, it even allows you to engage in a flank offensive.
45 kilometers top speed?
In this regard,
not bad.
The Paulac tank is more successful than other same-tier vehicles.
All right.
At Tier 7, there is the M2Y, the first vehicle of this line possessing a reserve track.
All right, so now we're boosting up to 1636 damage per minute, 240 average damage. The reload has gone down a little bit to 8.8, not too crazy. The mobility, still, yeah, it's only 40. It's kind of slowing down there. They hit the hull armor again, pretty darn good. The turret armor, okay. So let's get into what they say.
In other respects, this tank
View
is
rate
similar
only
to its
370.
predecessor. A cross between a heavy and a medium vehicle with good mobility.
Good.
And excellent armor.
Okay, so boom, hold up there, sir. Again, another weak spot with 175, 145 on the lower plate, and 120. So, okay, the gun port in this one is a weak spot, and it is not weaker than the Cupola, however you're supposed to say that. 235 up on the turret. My lord, that turret looks like it's going to be fun for getting bounces. Even the upper plate here, 235, it's nicely armored, nicely sloped. The only problem, of course, is, again, your lower plate. It's pretty big here. You're really going to have to be careful with the ridge lines and whatnot to hide that. Rocks, debris, dead tanks, whatever. But just remember, you see how it's sloping up here? When it goes around the side, you're going to have a weak spot over here. Anyways, let's go.
Weak spot of the M2Y in a positional fight may be the commander's cupola.
Oh, yeah. That looks easy to hit.
The gun's accuracy and DPM don't show any incredible numbers.
Nope.
But the penetration is quite good.
True, 200, not bad.
Even against Tier 8 vehicles. What's more, all Yo tanks starting at Tier 7 have excellent elevation and depression angles.
10 and 20.
This is one of the key characteristics that shapes the gameplay of the entire line.
Except for the Tier 6. Holy crap. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, your Tier 8 Yohi.
The M3Y settled down at Tier 8. It made a leap in firepower arranged for by his predecessors.
Still only 40 kilometers an hour.
Its hull and turret armor thickness reach impressive values.
Okay, so impressive. Let's see. The Cupola, 150. 165 for your lower plate, and no real weak spots to see. That's a nice thing. Mantlet 285, the turret is 290 to 335. You do have a weak spot. I'm sorry, because I actually should have known that, because you can shoot these. You see the little knobs right here? You shoot in this direction, you got 225. Not terrible though, not terrible. Not like 150 or 165, but still, that is a spot right there and there. That's a spot to aim for if it's open to you. But still, pretty well armored. 245 to 280 for the upper plate, 165 for the lower plate. Not bad.
And the size of the commander's cupola has been noticeably reduced.
Yeah.
At the same time, the mobility of the tank stays true to the brand of the Yo branch and is complemented by the new mechanic. The tank has one more peculiar feature: 2 top guns to choose from, adding to the diversity of gameplay.
Okay.
If you prefer to keep your distance and support your allies, consider the 90mm gun with high DPM. It resembles a classic medium tank gun. Accurate, fast firing, and with high penetration.
Reloads.
If you are a melee fighter, then the 105mm gun is the one for you. It's slightly inferior to the 90mm in terms of accuracy and rate of fire, but it deals impressive single-shot damage. The M3Y is a comfortable heavy tank with gameplay similar to that of the T-32 and M103.
Coincidence they're both American? I think not. Ladies and gentlemen,
the M6Y is your final push to the crown of the branch. This vehicle keeps the general concept of Yo tanks, but takes on a different appearance. The elongated turret looks especially impressive, and it has good armor and a shape prone to ricochet.
Okay, look at the turret, man. 330, 320. Now, again, Cupolas, I keep saying both because I can't remember which one's the right way to say it, but oh my God. Butter, 165. Come on, guys. Hear me out. Like, you got 230 down here in these nice little, those might not look that important, these little bumps, but guys, they're pretty big, man, and any sniping tank's not going to have an issue hitting that. And on top of that, screw that on this one. Why bother? You know what? Those are bonus hits for when you miss the Cupola, whatever. Captain's Hatch. Let's just call it Captain's Hatch. Look at this. Look how big they are. And 165 each, man. I mean, the lower plate is 190, and these are 165. I know where. Look at that, man. At least all this is nice and red up to it. Wow, wow. That's all I can say. 270 for the upper plate. 330 though, man. That's nice, and 320 for the turret and the hull. Or sorry, the turret and the gun mantlet and everything. Yeah, I just can't get over those two big honking hatches.
The M6Y is also armed with 2 top guns to choose from.
They're huge.
Only this time, their calibers are even greater.
Okay, you know what? Those two hatches remind me of? The T28 THC with the 2 R2D2 units on each side that you can easily pen. That's what this thing looks like, man. Looks like a kick-ass tank with 2 tumors on top that are easily penetrable.
The 105mm cannon boasts good accuracy and high damage.
It's like a guy with a big bowl sticking on the side of his head. I can't help but look at him. Mole. Its 120mm sister is less accurate, but compensates for that with nice single-shot damage. The M6Y will help you better understand how to play the king of this line. Protect your head. Protect the hatch, man.
I give you the M5Y. This vehicle, which rightfully sits at the top of this line, uses the most effective and recognizable ideas of the previous Yo tanks, but takes them even further.
Okay.
The M5Y is much smaller in size. Its turret is narrower, and instead of 2 vulnerable cupolas, only 1 remains.
Let's back that up just a hair. I was trying to let him finish his talk there. Okay, now the lower plate 200 to 245, the upper plate 260 to 295. They've taken the knobs off the top and put them down in the upper plate at 255. The frame right here, yes, you can shoot the frame. That's a big one, man. When this was in super test, or not super test, sorry, when this was in the testing phase though, we were all thinking that this was going to be not a hitbox. And, you know, because it's just, what does it do? You know, it doesn't, if you shoot that in real life, it's not like, you know, maybe the turret's going to fall over, you know, but you're not going to kill anybody. Here you go, guys, 260. 260. That's all I got to say. You got 2 little cute little eyeballs and eyebrows up there. Doesn't that look like a face with a big, yeah, anyways. And then way up top, you got 350 for the whole turret. And then you got 190, extremely low, for the tumor. But that tumor, compared to this tier 9 one, is a lot smaller for sure. So you want to put your gun up. By the way, it doesn't give you the actual armor for it, but you see right here, just like any tank turret, there's a turret ring. Well, that's green, guys. It's not showing us what it is, but I wouldn't doubt it if that's going to be 260, maybe even a little bit lower than that, maybe more like the 245 area, somewhere in there. So just remember that.
Vulnerable cupolas, only 1 remains, and it's a small one. Looks familiar, right? There are several vehicles with a similar turret model in the game. You can't underestimate such a design, especially if you keep in mind the comfortable gun depression angle.
10.
Just like the majority of the Yo tanks, the M5Y has 2 guns in its inventory. Choose the gun the same way as you would with the Tier 8 and Tier 9 tanks. Fast-firing 105mm gun delivers good accuracy. Its standard shells are APCR rounds, which have excellent penetration and high velocity. Just what you need to fight mobile opponents.
Nice velocity.
The 120mm gun is a heavy vehicle's tool. High single-shot damage, reasonable accuracy, and AP shells with good velocity. The gun is suitable for effective shooting at both close and medium range.
Not a sniper.
At the same time, the turret armor will keep your hit points intact. The main feature of the Yo branch tanks, starting from Tier 7, lies in their chassis. I'm talking about the reserve track mechanics. Here's how it works. If one of your tracks is busted,
I think we know
the
this
tank
part
will
already.
keep moving with the help of the reserve one, but at a lower speed. If the other main track is knocked off as well, the tank will slow down even more, but it will still be able to move. For example, the M5Y is driving at its maximum speed of 40 kilometers per hour. If someone hits its front roller and destroys the main track, the tank will slow down by 40%. If both tracks are damaged, the speed will drop by 65% of the maximum. But
okay, so I like this feature. It is a great feature. It definitely will help you. But let's face it, guys, 14 kilometers an hour, man. You see that heavy tank going over some open land that after he got double tracked. And it's a sitting duck, big time. Now, am I complaining about it? No, not at all. It's much better than the option, just sitting still and not moving at all. I just want to remind you, remember how slow it is that you're moving. So you've really got to focus on angling and moving. Okay, it's not about just hightailing it out of there, because 14 kilometers is not hightailing it anywhere. Okay, it is slowly crawling your ass somewhere. That's it. So angle and just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle combined, man. And until you get your tracks, until you get dark, one of the two, man. Just a little tip there.
Still moving, which means you can still get to cover or rotate your hull. To completely immobilize a yo, enemies need to knock off at least one reserve track. Then the tank will stop for repairs. The reserve track will be repaired first, and then the main one. The reserve track takes less time to repair, and as soon as it's fixed, you can start moving. However, there's a catch. If you're driving faster than 5 kilometers per hour, the main track will take longer to repair.
Yeah, 5 kilometers an hour.
You need to think about where and when to repair your tracks so that you won't be caught. If there's a cover nearby, good. Go there and recoup. If you're caught in an open area, it's better to use a repair kit, which will repair all the tracks at once.
So you see, it's situational, and I like that they mentioned this, okay, guys, because this is the thing. In order to use this tank's special ability to its utmost advantage, you really do have to strategize when you're going to use it. That's a very, very, very good point. You know, it's not a big deal to use your repair kit now that, you know, in the game, we can use repair kits over and over. But, you know, back in the day when you got one repair kit, you know, that was a big deal, man, and you really had to worry about it. You need to kind of get your mindset back into those times, man. You know, do you want to get stuck out there and, like they said, 5 miles an hour? If you're not doing 5 kilometers an hour, it's going to take really long in order to load it up. So you're virtually sitting still if you get all tracked. And that is, you know, if you're, like he said, if you're by a building, fine. Back up, get into safety. But if you're not, man, you better pop that repair kit, or else you're probably going to find yourself eating a lot of shells really quick.
To stop a yo, you just need to know which shells to fire and where to aim. For instance, firing HE shells at the rear of the chassis is more likely to completely immobilize a furious yo.
Yep. Forget the front.
Artillery HE rounds work in a similar fashion. If a shell lands next to the vehicle, the scattered shards can damage both tracks at the same time. You can also immobilize the American with an accurate shot at the front roller. In this case, the shell has to be powerful enough to damage both modules at once.
Oh!
When playing a yo tank, keep a few simple rules in mind to avoid getting in trouble.
Machine guns on the side.
The reserve track is not a reason to scrimp on the repair kit.
That's right.
Yes, the mechanic can forgive you some mistakes, but in a critical situation, you need to think about survival.
Yes.
Try mounting improved hardening. It increases the durability of both the regular track and the reserve track, while making it harder to knock off both with one shot. When engaging the enemy head-on, consider how your tank is positioned. If you are facing the enemy directly, their accurate shot at your front roller is more likely to knock off the reserve track as well. To avoid this, change the angle of your hull, or use the terrain folds. This way, you'll protect yourself and will be able to keep moving even if one of your main tracks is damaged.
Good point.
When side scraping, move as much as you can and try to position your hull at an acute angle. Don't make it any easier for the opponent to hit your reserve track.
it's almost, I wonder, someone should test it. I wonder if it's going to be viable to do a back side scrape so that you don't see the rear of the tracks. Because like they said, the rear of the tracks is where all the components are. And if you knock that out, you're instantly tracked completely if they blow out that last wheel. So if you turn the tank around and reverse sidetrack, the back would actually be showing the front wheel. And if it blows, well, you're still driving. You're still being able to side scrape back it up and whatnot. So it's just an idea. Until I get the tank, I won't be able to tell you how viable it is, how quick, how the traverse speed and all that, how well can you get into that position. That's something yet to be seen, but we'll get back, we'll bring that up in another video when we actually get the tank and review it.
The Yo tanks are unique, but practical. They feature the familiar gameplay of American heavies.
They are unique, that's for sure.
But with a unique twist. They make you look at familiar things from a different angle. They can be forgiving. And most importantly, they prove the unshakable truth by deed. Moving is living.
Moving is living. Wow, that is deep, man. Moving is living, guys. There you go. I guess so, man, because once you stop moving, I guess you are dead, right? Okay, so what it looks like, you got tier 10, tier 9, tier 8, tier 10, tier 9, tier 8, tier 7, tier 6 behind the logo here. Okay, tier 9, oh my gosh, man. Talk about wanting to free XP through a tank. With those two tumors sitting on, I mean, I just can't help it, man. Tuma. I can't help it. Look at the size of those suckers. Oi. And then this one right here, I believe, is the tier 8, and that one looks okay. The tumor's not so bad on the 10 and the 8. The other ones, the tier 6, as they said, it's got bad DPM. It's got, it's not that great. It doesn't even have the good gun depression yet. What is it, 5 on the gun depression? Oh my gosh. I mean, wow, guys. So, tier 6, let's blow through tier 6. Let's get tier 7 and deal with the Capella. Just, less experience needed to get through it, so go through it. And then when you get up to tier 8, man, tier 8 is the one I'm going to try to enjoy playing if I decide to go up the line right away. When I do decide to go up the line, the 8 is where I will probably hang out for a bit, just accumulate free XP, because boy, oh boy, tier 9, baby. I really see that. I mean, you've really got to rock it. Rock the boat, baby. Well, song says don't rock the boat, but in this case, this is a boat-shaped tank that you want to rock. You want to shake, because, man, those tumors up top are just, hit here, here you are, right here. This is where you want to hit. I mean, I can't say that enough, man. And then finally, tier 10. It looks like it's going to be a pretty badass tank. I like the fact there was a couple good tips given there about don't come straight at your enemy, come on an angle. We'll talk about the reverse side scraping later on. But this is just an announcement that the Yo tanks are coming. Now, the funny thing is, guys, they're not coming through super test. They decided to put them out there. They've already did the media release. This is what you're seeing. So, yeah, they're coming. The Americans are coming. And what do you think? Tell me what you guys think. Are you excited about these tanks? Are you looking forward to these tanks being in World of Tanks? Or do you think that they're gimped and they're not going to be any good? What do you think? Tell me. Let me know, man. Do you want to see in-depth review when this comes out, man? Or is this just a tank that you don't care about? Let me know, man. So, guys, that's it. I just wanted to bring this to your attention. The news here, we've all known they're coming, but we did not know they were just going to bypass the super test and just bring them out real quick. So, guys, I'm Mr. BeetleBum. If you like this video, please, thumbs up, baby. Give it some thumbs up, man, so we can get it in the rotation. I love that. Wah, wah, whoop, whoop. I want, wah, whoop, whoop. There you go. If you don't like it, oh well. Sorry. If you don't like it, let me know what I can do to make the videos so that you would like them. How's that? Because I do want to give you guys stuff that you like to see. And finally, come over to Bing, Twitch. If you want to see me play live, if you want to ask questions live, I do answer questions on the YouTube comments, by the way, very quickly. Might surprise you how fast. But if you do want to see me live and ask questions live, then come on over to Twitch, hang out with us. I guarantee you'll have a good time because I enjoy being an idiot to entertain others. So I hope you have a great day playing this awesome game. Until the next time, I'm Mr. BeetleBum, and I'm out.